California native, the freshman. First pitch temperature of 61 degrees, cloudy skies. There is wind. And the first pitch right off Calhoun. Ricochets to Gregory. He's got a play on it. Throw to first in time. How about that? What a start. That ball hit right up the middle. Good swing by Brunson. Perfect deflection. Gregory made the nice play.
Sure did. It looked like, for Kaysen, it was like a one-hopper.
Well, hopefully we'll get a look
Here
at
we
it.
go.
But a nice play there for Kaysen.
One pitch, one out. Can't beat that.
That'll bring up Logan Maxwell, who is no doubt swinging a hot stick for TCU. Maxwell averaging .382 coming into this at bat. First pitch from Calhoun is a strike.
Horned Frog leading hitter, and he's leading the Horned Frogs in hitting by about 75 points in the starting lineup tonight, Josh.
One of 3 true lefties in this TCU batting order.
Logan's got 10 doubles on the season, 12 RBIs. He's yet to hit a home run. He runs some, though. He's got 6 stolen bases, so he's a threat when he gets on the base paths.
Yeah, that .382 average ranking 6th in the Big 12. As the count jumps to 2-1.
Officially the second half of the season beginning tonight for the Mavericks. They played 28 ball games. 55 are scheduled. Actually, the third game out at Cal Baptist, but here at home, second half of the season. Hard to believe that we're halfway through this 2024 season already, Josh.
Yeah, all of a sudden the calendar flips over to April. TCU playing their 28th game of the year here today.
Well,
Maxwell,
you know,
stays alive.
We've had all the signals. You know, we've crossed Easter Sunday. NCAA's got their Final Four. Major League Baseball has opened up, and that's usually the signs that everybody is in their second half of college baseball season.
Maxwell, the left fielder. The 2-2. And that went inside, almost grazed the leg of Maxwell, but instead the count just jumps full 3-2.
He also leads the Horned Frogs in base on balls. He has 22. Next frog has 14.
Payoff pitch. And Maxwell again staying alive with a swing of the bat. 12th time Maxwell is batted second in the lineup. Seen him move around the outfield. Mainly everyday left fielder for TCU.
Yeah, TCU got the offensive machine working this past weekend over at TCU as they easily swept University of Houston Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That is going to be a walk, so Maxwell finds his way on first base. 23rd walk of the season, as you mentioned. And that's a one-out base runner for the Horned Frogs. That'll bring up Anthony Silva. Shortstop batting third in the lineup. He has had some success here at Clay Gould Ballpark. Remember last year, him hitting a big home run against UT Arlington in the ball game. Silva hitting .309. And Earhart's going to throw down to first base and safe as Lance Barnes, the first base umpire, took a spill.
He was also safe at first base, Josh. You mentioned Lance Barnes getting in position, and actually feet slipped out from under him, and
sure
he
did.
was sliding the same time that Maxwell was sliding.
Pitch outside to Silva.
Silva's got 8 doubles on the season. The Horned Frogs have 53 doubles in their first 27 ball games, so that's simply 2 doubles a game they're averaging.
So keep an eye on Maxwell at first. He's going this time. Oh, it faked me out, actually. This one's a strike from Calhoun to Silva. Count jumps to 2-1.
Yeah, the big league took the hard first step, but it was a good fake.
35 stolen bases on the year for TCU. 6th most among Big 12 schools. Another throw down to first. And Tice Armstrong applying the tag. Maxwell back safely.
Yeah, 35. They've only been thrown out 9 times, Josh. 35 for 44 this season. It's impressive.
2-1. Hit and run put on, foul ball back to the screen, 2-2. This is a TCU team that started off the season, one of their longest winning streaks to start a year, 15-0. Cooled off a bit in Big 12 play. TCU, of course, going to the College World Series last year.
Yes, for about 20 years now, one of the traditional powerhouses in all of college baseball.
And the 2-2 line foul to the right.
Yeah, when we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, 20-7 overall. All 7 losses have come in Big 12 play. So they are undefeated so far this season in non-conference play.
UT Arlington 4-12 in non-con play.
Got a note from Coach Van Hook.
Ground ball, Mavericks trying to turn 2 here. Bethel, the relay to Ryan Black and over to Armstrong, and that's a double play for the Mavericks.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about Garrison, who has got himself out of that early season offensive funk and has been doing a really nice job offensively the last 7 ball games for the Mavericks, so he's back up in that leadoff spot.
That'll bring up Ryan Black for UTA. Ryan bringing in a .255 batting average. 29th start of the season for the everyday Maverick second baseman.
Yeah, Ryan on Thursday night really led that Maverick offense. He had a couple of base hits, both doubles, and drove in 4 runs, but then ran into tough times in the doubleheader on Friday, so he finished the weekend 2 for 14 out in Riverside, California.
Yeah, 4 runs, 4 RBI, part of that 14-2 run rule win on Thursday for UTA over California Baptist. Ryan this year against lefties is hitting .355.
Wow, that is impressive.
Outstanding mark for Ryan.
Leads the ball club in doubles with 12, and actually second in RBIs with 18.
Hampton settles, and the 1-2 bounces in the dirt. Curtis Byrne, bit of an awkward leap, keeping that ball in front of him. He appears to be okay.
Mavericks have 46 doubles so far on the season. They have 3 triples and 16 home runs. So they've got 65 extra base hits in the first 28 games.
Ryan puts one over to second base. Ryder Robinson creeps in, makes the throw to first base, and that is out number 2. Almost looked like Ryan maybe kind of tried to check his swing there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pitch I don't think he didn't fully commit, and had the misfortune of making contact.
So Tyson Pointer, that we've talked about in the pregame open. Tyson now hitting .310 for UTA. Just 2 Mavericks enter the ball game here today with a 300-plus batting average. Pointer shows bunt, fouls it back.
Mavericks actually picked up about 10, 12 points out at Cal Baptist for the season batting average. They're hitting .248 now as a team, as they have struggled early, but it's starting to come around right now, the offense for our Mavericks.
Tyson going at 5 for 12 in the California Baptist series. 2 runs, 2 doubles, and 3 walks. Pointer has reached base in 17 straight games for UTA. Longest streak of any Mavericks. Tate Bethel, third baseman, 16 games of reaching at base. A lot of 2s up there, Mo. 22 Tyson Pointer,
yeah,
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Full house plus 1. Tyson, one of, let's see now, is that 5 Mavericks that have started every ball game? My quick math. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Count jumps to full now from Hampton. 45th career start for Ben Hampton. Had some big time numbers at West Virginia.
So Big 12 competition is not new to this young man.
First team all Big 12 a season ago. And that is going to be a walk. Tyson Pointer draws the two-out walk here in the first.
And the other Maverick 300 hitter, he's hitting right on the dot, 300. Left fielder Ryan Ellis. Ryan, one of the Mavericks, also 27th start in 29 ball games.
Ellis, the Peoria, Arizona native. And the lefty, he's going to hit one up the middle. That's good for a base hit. Tyson Pointer is headed to third base. The throw is cut off, bobbled out of the glove of Silva. But a big base hit for Ryan Ellis puts the Mavericks with two outs, runners at the corners.
Nice job by Ryan right there. I know back in the days of coaching, you walk the hitter before you, and it's a lefty-lefty. So sometimes then that left-hander is going to think, I'm going to stay with the fastball, going to try to go 0-1 on this guy. So Ryan, being aware of that, takes that pitch, boom, right back up the middle, and all of a sudden the Mavericks have now this lead run 90 feet away.
So here's Tate Bethel, who we mentioned earlier, 16-game reached base streak for Tate, as the first pitch will be called a strike.
Tate went 4 for 14 this weekend out in California. Had a base hit in each of the games, 2 in game number 2 on Friday. The Mavericks had a really weird conference weekend when it came to scheduling. They played a non-traditional Thursday night opener because it was Easter weekend, and then because of impending weather on Saturday, they actually played a doubleheader on Friday, and the series was over in 24 hours, basically.
Yeah, it was a get-in, get-out weekend for UTA in California. TCU enjoyed their Easter with a 3-game sweep over the Houston Cougars. 14-1 win on Thursday. Held down the Cougar offense, outscoring them 26-7 over the series.
Tate brings a 275 in this ball game tonight. He has a homer, 14 RBI. Tate starting his 28th ball game, another Maverick that has been in the lineup every day but one.
Another foul ball here, stays 1-2. Tate, everyday third baseman for UTA. We actually saw him come in and pitch an inning against DBU a week ago. When the Mavericks took on the number 10 at the time ranked Dallas Baptist Patriots. Mavericks had a chance in the 9th inning, but fell 5-3 in that one. And the 1-2, and Tate puts this one in the gap in right center field. That is going to drop. Tyson Pointer scores from third base, and the Mavericks take a 1-0 lead on TCU.
All after 2 outs here. The full count walk to Pointer, and then Ellis with a nice base hit up the middle, and Bethel with a line drive into the right center field gap, and the Mavericks have jumped out, as we see right here. Good job, went down and got that one.
That ball really had some carry on it before Chase Brunson got to it. So 2 outs, 1-0 lead. Tice Armstrong with, again, 2 outs and runners at the corners. Tice high in the air into center field. Brunson backtracks, and he's got it for out number 3. Big swing by Tate Bethel scores Tyson Pointer. That gives the Mavericks a 1-0 lead as we head to the second.
So we just might see 9 men tonight.
Curtis Byrne gets it started for TCU. So they'll go 4, 5, 6 in their order here in the second. Byrne, the St. Louis, Missouri native, adding 257 catching behind home plate for the 14th time this season. Seen him play first base as well for the Horned Frogs this year. Takes a big hack, that one, 1-1.
Yeah, the Mavericks, as you mentioned, Scranton now in. You know, back in the day, Josh, we had a name for that starting pitcher. When we knew we were going to have a bullpen game, we used to tell people that Johnny Allstaff was pitching that game that afternoon.
Old Johnny Allstaff. Here's the 2-1 from Byrne. Swing and a miss, and that make it 2-2. Byrne, the only Frog to start and play every single game this year. As Scranton just keeps it away, and now the count 3-2.
Yeah, Byrne leads the club in home runs with 4, and the RBIs, as you mentioned, 24.
He was a big-time player in the Big 12 tournament last year at Globe Life Field. Skies this one straight up in the air. Parker Earhart ditches the mask, reaches up, he makes the catch. Byrne fouls out for out number 1.
Nice job by Parker right there. Horned Frogs have hit 21 home runs this season. We mentioned earlier the Mavericks have hit 16, so we can't really say both of these teams are what you would call long ball hitting teams. They're both averaging under a home run per game.
Peyton Tolley DHing tonight. One of their weekend starters on the pitching staff. Tolley had a really good year on the mound so far. Has made 7 starts and a 3.38 ERA, 66 strikeouts from the pitching side for Tolley.
Big young man, left-handed swinger, about 6'6", 250. He's had 40 at-bats, though, already, so it's not like he's not used to being up there in the box.
Yeah, batting an even 200, but that's a strikeout for Scranton. So now 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd inning. Scranton wasting no time firing those to Tolley. Here's Luke Boyers, the Bernie, Texas native. Boyers pops this one up. Tate Bethel crosses into foul territory. Gregory is behind him. Bethel has it, and that is a 3-up, 3. So here's Parker Earhart, 29th start of the year. Goes after the first one. Foul down the third base line, retrieved by Camden Sauce. Over there to Clay Van Hook, coaching at third base tonight for UTA, with Mike Taylor out on the recruiting trail.
That's exactly what it means. That's the signal. Of course, Tuesday's a huge recruiting day for college baseball. You've got every high school team playing, and the vast majority of junior colleges also play on Tuesdays.
Earhart, this one's a fair down the third base line. Sauce has it, stretch throw to first, and that is in time for out number 1. Nice job by Camden Sauce there. Mentioned earlier, it's his first start at third base this year for Kirk Sarlos' squad.
There's a young man, Kaiser Harrington.
Had his first career hit 1 week ago as he
Sure
pinch
did.
hit in the 9th inning against DBU.
Kept that ball game alive. Base hit, drove in 2. Cut the gap for the Mavericks. At that time, it was 5-3, but they came up short.
Harrington, his 2nd start of the season, 3rd appearance.
They get to play 1 ball game at third base back in early March at Lamar University.
2 RBI on the season. That was off that hit against DBU. This one gloved, but out of the glove of Sauce. That was going to be a very tough play for Camden. And that's a base runner for UTA, and the freshman Kaiser Harrington on at first base. They have credited him with a base hit. And the Mavericks with 1 out. Runner at first base. That'll bring up Kaysen Gregory.
Yeah,
play there by Sauce. Just
yeah, he would have had to do full spin, throw, and everything like that. So a base hit for Kaiser.
There's Kaysen Gregory. Cleburne native. First pitch from Hampton that stays inside 1-0.
Coming off a 2-for-11 weekend out of Cal Baptist. Drove in 1 run in Thursday night's victory. And
Kaysen started now 18 games for UTA. Hits on the year in 60 at-bats as Hampton throws over to first base.
He's got 8 RBIs, and of course he had that RBI stretch going Stephen F. Austin series. If I remember correctly, he had 7 RBIs over a 3 or 4 game span, correct, Josh?
Yeah, he was successful against TCU back in the game in Fort Worth on March 19th. Gregory going 2 for 4 against the Horned Frogs, had 2 RBI. And Kaysen on one of the long flyouts almost hit his first home run of the year back in Lupton Stadium. Hampton keeping Harrington close by at first base. Gregory fouls this one back to make it 1-2.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. 56 years this series has gone uninterrupted, home and home. This is the 178th meeting between.
A lot of baseball for these two teams.
Yep.
Called strike 3. Hampton, 16th strikeout on the season, and there's now 2 outs on the board for the Mavericks as we turn the lineup over as the former Horned Frog, Garrison Berkeley, steps to the plate.
Garrison, 4 consecutive years now, has worn either uniform. Had 2 with the Horned Frogs, then transferred over, had a great season last year for the Mavericks, and leading off once again this season in his 2nd year with Maverick baseball in the WAC.
Berkeley 0 for 1. Popped out to second base in the first inning. Ryder Robinson retreated back in shallow right field to make the catch. Runner going, bunt down by Berkeley, and the throw to first is going to be in time. Mavericks strand a runner. It's a 1-0 lead for UTA as we head to the 3rd. First start in his career tonight, Chandler, Arizona native. Playing first base for TCU.
Left-handed swinger. He's got 1 at-bat on the season. So he gets a lefty-lefty matchup here in the top half of the 3rd inning.
Falls down in the count, 0-2. Wattis, the number 2 prospect, ranked by Perfect Game out of the state of Arizona.
It's pretty impressive ranking right there when it's coming from the state of Arizona. If you're a top 10 prospect coming out of the state of Arizona, California, of course, Texas, Florida, you've got yourself a future.
1-2. And Wallace keeps it away, and we're evened up 2-2. 3rd true lefty in the TCU lineup for Wattis. And that one just missed underneath to make it 3-2. Mavericks scoring their run back in the first inning. Tyson Pointer drew a walk, a couple base hits, eventually brought Pointer in thanks to Ryan Ellis and Tate Bethel. This one lifted well into center field. That wind is carrying it. That ball is gone. Zach Wattis with his first career home run in his 2nd career at-bat. We are tied 1-1.
That ball literally jumped off his bat, Josh. I mean, when he hit it, I knew he hit it good, but as you said, got up there in the wind too, and it cleared. I mean, for all intent and purposes, Ellis and Berkeley both just turned around and watched it.
Yeah, that's why I looked at it immediately. We'll get a look here, but Berkeley chased it, and then he said, nope, don't have a play on that one. That ball well out of play. As you see the bounce.
Yep, there it is. Wow.
So Wattis ties the game. How about that?
I can
for TCU.
Maybe see why he was a top, you said number 2 ranked high school prospect coming out of Arizona. Tell you what, if you got that kind of fire coming from the bat, I can understand it.
4th home run Wallace has given up on the season. That'll bring up Camden Sauce, freshman 3rd baseman. So just like his counterpart Wattis, Sauce making his first start at 3rd base. He is 2 for 8 on the year, 3 runs scored. One ball in, 1 strike. Sauce out of Alpine, California. Wallace just missed the zone here, 3-1.
And I think some Maverick faithful have woke up.
They will do that from time to time. Wallace taking his time, 3-1. This one's lifted in the air. Tice Armstrong, Ryan Black in the infield. It's Ryan Black who leans over to makes the catch just in the grass, and that is out number 1.
Mavericks here for just one quick ball game. They headed down to the Valley this week and take on WAC opponent, the Vaqueros of UT Rio Grande. They'll be playing them Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
Ryder Robinson, freshman second baseman out of Cedar Hills, a Utah switch hitter, batting right side this time against the lefty Wallace. Ryder batting .247. It's his 22nd start of the year.
15 RBIs are impressive, though, from the 9-hole. So that .247 batting average has been productive, though.
Last year, 2023 Gatorade Utah Player of the Year. Robinson holding the Utah State record for career runs scored and most runs scored in a single season.
All right.
This one lined to the right side. Ryan Black, easy scoop, and that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the 3rd. We'll turn the lineup over. By the way, final numbers on Jason Scranton. 1 inning, allows nothing, gets a strikeout in 10 pitches. So we'll turn the lineup over here for TCU. Chase Brunson, 0 for 1 on a quirky play. Took the first pitch right up the middle, deflected off Aaron Calhoun's cleat, shot right over to Kason Gregory. And Gregory made the throw over to first base to record the out.
Yeah, Brunson, 308 coming in today's action. 3 homers, 18 RBI.
Preseason Big 12 Freshman of the Year by D1 Baseball. Chase Brunson already has been drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in the first-year player draft in 2023. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk. So Brunson, 15th walk of the season, and it's a 2-out base runner for the Horned Frogs.
The Horned Frogs have now walked 130 times on the season, this being their 28th game. So that's they're under 5 walks per game. Comparison, the Mavericks have walked 112 times, so they're right at 4 walks per game offensively.
Logan Maxwell takes a look at the first pitch, stays upstairs from Wallace, 1-0. Maxwell drew a walk back in the first inning. So officially 0 for 0.
And we mentioned it, 382 coming in today's action.
Count jumps to 2-0.
513 on base percentage, very impressive for the left fielder, left-handed swinger, Logan Maxwell.
That'll find the strike zone to make it 2-1. Talked about it earlier, TCU's offensive numbers, currently 283 batting average coming in the game today, 9th in the Big 12, but they are slowly trying to find their rhythm that they had to start the season. As this one fouled away over to the patio area.
Just missed the next half inning promotion. It was almost the baseball in the Whataburger French fry basket on that foul ball.
That would have been something.
Yeah, I wonder if that would have counted as a point for the contestant.
2-2. Another one lifted foul.
Yeah, very little sunshine today throughout the afternoon here.
Ryan Black for UTA, who is 0 for 1 today after a ground out to second base.
Yeah, this being Tuesday, but it was a busy weekend of baseball this week in the Metroplex. As we mentioned, the Horned Frogs hosted the University of Houston, and of course the Texas Rangers, world champions, opened up their season this weekend against the Chicago Cubs. Thursday night, they flying the World Championship banner, which will be there forever. And then on Saturday, what an exciting day that was. And boy, you could just tell even from the players and everybody getting the World Series rings. It was great for Ranger fans, great to see. Long time coming.
Yeah, baseball, no doubt. It is back here in Arlington. And UTA hosting TCU here tonight. Second meeting of the year for these two teams. Ryan eyes this one to make it 2-1. Mavericks lost 7-3 against TCU in Fort Worth a couple weeks ago. And Ryan to the left side. That's in the outfield. Base hit for Ryan. His 28th hit on the year. Leadoff runner for the Mavericks and a 1-1 draw.
Nice job by Ryan right there, going with that pitch. Get himself back going again. And you never know, one of those type of base hits right there can help you turn the corner after having a little bit of a slow streak on the doubleheader on Friday. Good job of hitting to give the Mavericks the leadoff man here in the third.
Fourth hit of the game for UTA. As Mosiello keeps this one inside against Tyson Pointer, who has the Maverick run scored earlier after he drew a walk back in the first inning.
And that two-out walk, which led to the Maverick run. Tyson, that was the 21st time he scored, and now with Ellis and Earhart, all tied for the club leadership with those 21 runs scored.
Pointer in the air. It's headed foul, and that's going to land in the stands. That's evened up 1-1. Ryan Black at first. Another check at first by Mosiello. Tag made by Wadis. Ryan back safely.
We do have to mention it. Tyson is one of the 3 leaders in stolen bases for the Mavericks, but we won't get overly excited about it. It's 2 stolen bases, as the Mavericks have but 9 on the year.
One of the lower numbers in the WAC, with 9 stolen bases. But they've got Ryan over at first right now.
He's got a nice lead.
We'll stay put as Pointer takes a look at this one to make it 2-1. And yet, the sun is peeking out.
Yes, it is. Well, all I had to do is mention that we hadn't had sun all day, Josh, and you've got it in your eyes right now.
It's kind of a weird sky. A lot of dark clouds above us as Pointer takes a hack at it to make it 2-2. Talked about it earlier, the 178th meeting all time. According to TCU's numbers, this is their 75th game at Clay Gould Ballpark. So games played in Arlington, UTA 39, 34, and 1. And that is the only tie in UTA history. As Pointer puts one into right field, it's going to get all the way to the wall. Ryan Black rounds second. Clay Van Hook holds up Ryan at third. Tyson Pointer with the double down the right field line. And nobody out. Mavericks runners on second and third base.
Tyson line shot down that right field line for his 6th double on the season. And just like that, the Mavericks have runners on second and third. Pair of base hits here in the bottom half of the third inning with nobody out.
Let's look at Tyson rounding second base. 6th double of the year for Tyson, 47th for UTA. And they've got a big opportunity here with Ellis at the plate, who is 1 for 1 today. First time for Ellis to face the right-handed pitcher Mosiello.
Conference on the mound now. The way they set up on that pitch, they were conceding the run at shortstop, second and first. Third baseman was playing up even with the base runner. So if the ball would be hit right at him or to his backhand, more than likely the Mavericks would probably be holding the runner on, but conceding the run anywhere hit in the rest of the infield, first, second, or short.
5 hits already for UTA here in the bottom of the third. And that's going to be ball 2 from Mosiello to Ellis.
Yeah, Ryan can be a little bit choosy right here. On top with the 2-0 count.
7 for 23 this year with runners in scoring position. And now 3-0. What do you think, Mo? Is there a green light here?
I'm going to say no. Ryan leads the ball club in walks with 20. And I'm going to say in this situation right here, he's going to take one. Let's see.
And you were right. 3-1 now. Ellis 1 for 1 after his single back in the first inning into center field. 28 hits now, which is tied for the second most hits by the Mavericks on the season. Fouls this one back. Now we're even, or full count, pardon me, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Mosiello has worked himself back with a called strike and a foul back. Left-handed swinging Ellis, though. We got a little bit of a timeout, home plate umpire.
That's Shaler Smith behind home plate.
Many a times he has been here at the Gould.
First time this season, though. Called strike 3. What a pitch from Mosiello. And Ellis is retired, and that's 1 out here in the third.
Yeah, you got to give Mosiello credit on that. He just won that battle. Yep. Right on the black. And that'll bring up Tate Beth, who's already got the Maverick RBI with that single back in the first inning.
Opportunity here. Blinn college transfer. And he'll take a look at the first pitch. 91 miles an hour. That is a strike. As you mentioned, Tate with the RBI for the Mavericks.
I've mentioned all year, you know, to me, Tate's just a ball player. He does what you have to do. It's a big part of the Maverick offense this year and defense. Couple 3 really nice junior colleges additions this year. Ryan Ellis, Tate Bethel, and then, of course, Parker Earhart behind the dish.
And Tate puts it into left field. That's going to score 1 for the Mavericks. Clay Van Hook holds up Pointer at third base, and the ball got away from the third baseman. Silva retreats it in foul territory. Nothing more out of that. It's a 2-1 lead for UTA as Bethel gets the Mavericks' 6th hit
there it is.
Of the game. And we're going to have a mound visit as we get a look at the base hit. And Tate Bethel, 2 RBI day so far.
Yep, no doubt about it right there between shortstop, third baseman. Another RBI for Tate. And we've got a full-blown conference on the mound now for the Horned Frogs. Runners on first and third, just 1 out as the Mavericks have taken the lead once again, 2-1.
Kirk Sarlos in his 3rd season as the head coach, 12th season overall with TCU. Head coaching number 156 for him this afternoon and evening. So that's going to bring up Tice Armstrong, who flew out to center field back in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1.
Of course, Kirk spent 7 seasons in major leagues. Pitcher.
So runners at the corners for Tice. He'll take strike 1 from Mosiello.
Yeah, he flew out to center. He just missed that thing because he hit it sky high back in for the final out in the 1st inning. He had just gotten under it. He straightened that thing out. The thing would have been a bomb.
Another check at first base from Mosiello. The Mavericks have taken a 2-1 lead and still just 1 out. And runners at the corners.
Yeah, 6 base hits for the Mavericks so far.
The 0-1 breaks away from Tice. Conroe native Tice Armstrong brings in a 247 average to the game here today. Everyday first baseman for the Mavericks.
And a fine fielding first baseman he is.
We have seen some terrific plays on the defensive side from Tice this year that, as we've talked about, probably saves a run or two here and there. And we've seen, those type of plays, 5, 6, 7 times here this year at Clay Gould Ballpark. This one back, and that's through the legs of Mosiello, and the throw to first. Tice made it. Pointer scores from 3rd. It's 3-1 UTA, and Kirk Sarlos out of the dugout immediately. As we'll get a look here.
Here we go.
To chopper and right off the inner thigh of Mosiello.
When he first hit the ball, Josh, I really thought that was going to be just a 1-hopper, 2. And so far, 2 runs both earned, and he is responsible for those 2 base runners at 1st and 2nd right now also.
Mavericks have 7 base hits already. So here's the first pitch from the sidearm to Parker Earhart. Parker 0 for 1 today after he grounded out to 3rd baseman Camden Sauce earlier. Pitch. We're evened up. Last 10 meetings, TCU 9-1 against UTA. Mavericks able to get a win last year in Fort Worth.
Yep. A big win for the Mavericks last year. If I remember, the one before that would have been right before COVID ended the 2020 season. Mavericks won an extra inning battle, came back with a rally in the 9th to tie, and then won an extra innings over at TCU. So it's been a while that the Mavericks have had a victory here at Clay Gould Ballpark against the Horned Frogs.
Runners going, Earhart, and that's past 3rd baseman Camden Sauce. Clay Van Hook sends Tate Bethel, and the Mavericks make it a 4-1 lead. The hit and run works out as it was just out of the reach of Sauce over at 3rd base.
Everybody was moving. Coach Van Hook, I'm sure, thinking about staying out of double play. Hard hit ball. Sauce never had a chance on it. And Earhart comes up with an RBI single. 3 consecutive Maverick hitters now with RBI singles.
Tice Armstrong now over at 3rd base. And here's Kaiser Harrington, the freshman. With 1 out, and again, runners at the corners.
Those 8 base hits have been 7 Mavericks have accounted for the 8 base hits so far.
Pitch inside to Kaiser for ball 1. Kaiser with a base hit in the 2nd, 1 for 1. Here's the 1-0. Hitters count here, 2-0. See Armstrong, bit of a lead at third. And the 2-0. Kaiser lets it go down the middle to make it 2-1.
Josh, I've got the note, but I'm going to let you say it because I know that's part of your ball game here in the third inning. Mavericks having plated 3 runs in today's third inning.
That has now doubled their previous output in the third inning. They had scored 3 runs all year long in the third inning. They've scored 3 runs here in the third inning tonight. They entered the ball game with a negative 21 run differential in the third inning, but when you go to the fourth inning, it's a plus 21 run margin, 32 run. Mavericks have scored 3 runs coming into the game today in the third inning. They've scored 32 runs in the fourth inning. 4-1 lead here. And Kaiser just behind this one, 2-2, got fooled by the breaking ball.
Fans, there's nothing we can say, but that's the game of baseball. I mean, how do you explain that 28 games into the season, that back-to-back innings have such a tremendous scoring difference?
2 balls, 2 strikes as Colt Taylor throws over to first. Keeps Earhart there. Three straight base hits for the Mavericks. And 5 in this inning. You can really hear the wind whipping.
Yeah, they said
right
gusts
to left, yeah.
could reach up to 30 miles per hour, and I think we might be right about it there right now. Consistently 15 to 18 miles an hour with gusts anywhere from 25 to 30.
Three-2. And this one into center field. Harrington, but it's going to be caught on the run by Chase Brunson. Armstrong tags from third, and the sacrifice fly from Kaiser Harrington gives the Mavericks a 5-1 lead.
And that's 4 consecutive RBI at bats for the Mavericks. And the freshman does his job.
12th sack fly of the year for UTA as a team. First one for Harrington in his collegiate career. 4-run bottom of the third so far. Parker Earhart stays put at first base. And here's Kaysen Gregory, 8th batter of the inning for the Mavericks. Kaysen 0 for 1 today after he struck out back in the second. So to wrap up Mosiello's numbers, goes a third, allows 4 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout.
A tough outing for Mosiello.
Got a 2-0 count. See what Kaysen can do. He'll let this one into right. Luke Boyers calling off the second baseman, Ryder Robinson. Boyers makes the catch, and that is out number 3. Mavericks plate 4 runs in the third. They've got a 5-1 lead on TCU. Hey.
Silva's first time up was an inning-ending double play. Bethel to Black to Armstrong, a 5-4-3. Get the Mavericks to 0 in the top of the first.
This one takes a bounce foul. Right next to third base coach John DeLora for TCU. John DeLora in his 6th season with the Horned Frogs. Two 2-1. Now that makes it 3-1 from Cade. And Silva high in the air. Berkeley in center field, tracking it, jogging up, leans over, and he's got it for out number 1.
Well, the Mavericks have retired the first hitter against the Horned Frogs 3 of the 4 innings today. The only time they didn't was the Zach Wattis left center field home run to lead off the top of the third.
Last time we saw McGlade winning inning in the third back on March 24th against Stephen F. Austin, part of the Mavericks sweep over the Lumberjacks. This ball lined foul to the right side by Curtis Byrne, who is 0 for 1 today. Redshirt senior. Byrne, one of the, no doubt, a fan favorite over there in Fort Worth. St. Louis, Missouri native. Where's number 4 uniform for the Horned Frogs? Definitely a big player for their tournament run last year, and then TCU going all the way to the College World Series.
Yeah, TCU, it's that's familiar territory, Omaha is, for the Horned Frogs.
It's going to be ball 4 as Byrne draws his 12th walk of the year. And it's a base runner.
You're in 4 innings.
Totally the preseason All-American. Has done a phenomenal job this year on the mound. Projected Big 12 newcomer of the year.
66 strikeouts in 40 innings, Josh. That's just third world. I don't know what it is. That's crazy.
Chopper, Kaysen at shortstop charges it, gets the ball out of his glove cleanly, and that'll record the out at second base as the chopper was over the head of Caden McGlade on the mound. That moves Curtis Byrne to second base, and now there are 2 outs. Here's Luke Boyers. So try to keep this inning going.
We're in scoring position now for TCU, with Byrne leading off second base.
This one popped up, it's headed into foul territory, and there will not be a play on it, as that ball is going to bounce in the stands. That'll be a souvenir.
In front of the Maverick first base bleacher crowd. Turned out to be a decent little crowd tonight.
Obviously, the Tarrant County rivalry. 0-1. Boyers puts this foul.
I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the attendance record for Glade Gould Ballpark is against TCU, and I want to say it was the opening night in 2017.
That sounds right. And McGlade just missed to make it 1-2.
Remember that.
I know that game TCU was ranked pretty high coming into that game.
And it actually was the season opener, I'm pretty sure.
Called strike 3.
Nice job.
Strikes out Boyers. Job for McGlade. 5-1 lead for UTA. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning when we'll get it started for UT Arlington. Eight hits already for UTA. And the first pitch from Heyerholzer. A miss for ball 1. Pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. So the Mavericks with a 5-1 lead. Mo, we've got a very special guest up here in the booth. I'm going to let you take over for just a little while. Excited for this one.
Thank you, Vash. Yes, we do. Maverick fans, we've got one of the all-time great UTA pitchers up here with us, Chris Gay, the left-hander, and we'll ask him a couple questions here in between hitters. Chris, great to see you out here tonight again. A longtime fixture around Maverick baseball, 30 years after you had your glory days.
That was a long time ago, I can tell you that. It's great to be out here on a beautiful day with 8 hits on the field right now. So let's keep this going.
Ryan Black with Garrison Berkeley with a line drive to the right fielder for the first out for the Mavericks. So far, the Mavericks, as we mentioned, 5 runs on 8 hits, and they hold a 5-1 lead here in the bottom half of the fourth. That's going to bring Ryan Black up to the plate. 1 for 2 on the evening. Singled and scored a run back in that 4-run third inning. Well, Chris, I know you've had a lot of great memories out here. Pitched one of the most important games in Maverick history for us back in 1990. And if you can share that with the fans here after the pitch to Ryan.
Well, thanks to you for recruiting me, watching the other kid from DeSoto, and I did better than he did. So, yeah, that year in 90, we started that last game to winner take all against Sam Houston, and it went our direction. It was our first ever conference championship.
Yes, indeed. And Chris was a big part of our pitching staff from 89 through 92. And actually, the 92 season, he's not going to brag on himself, but I'll brag on him. 10-1, is that correct? That's what we finished, 10-1?
10-1, and we went 40-15 as a group, which
yes.
Was pretty impressive.
Indeed, yes. Chris, for you local fans that might not know, Carrollton Newman Smith.
That is correct.
Back in the day, and as Chris said, I went out there, I saw him, and I got a little funny story here. Ryan Black ready for the pitch. It's a ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth. I came back and I told Butch, the head coach, Butch McGrimm at that time, you know, that Gay kid, left-hander, he might be able to help us some out of the bullpen in a Tuesday starter. And there he was for 3 years, a weekend starter for us and an integral part of 2 Maverick championships. So you never know what you might find.
You got to just keep plugging away and think you belong.
Yes, you do. And then Chris had a opportunity, pitched a 3 seasons in the Chicago White Sox organization. And how long now have you been running? I can't even tell you how many teams here in the Arlington area.
30 years.
30
been doing
years.
Select teams for 30 years.
So right after you got out of professional baseball, you moved into that.
Moved into that, and this will be my first year off this coming summer.
And Black pokes it out to the left fielder, line drive, but pulled in. So we've got 2 outs now here in the bottom half of the fourth. We're visiting with Chris Gay, left-handed pitcher for the Mavericks, 1989 to 92. Part of the 1990 and 1992 championships teams we had here in the Southland Conference. Chris, this will be a tough day to pitch. Bunt by Pointer, and
oh, down the line.
All kind of things happened right there. As we can tell, we got never picked up the bunt cleanly. Pitcher Colt Taylor never picking the bunt up cleanly and then throwing it away. So the Mavericks do have a runner now on second base with 2 outs, and we'll see the replay right there. Pointer, the bunt goes right back to the pitcher. He barehands it, but he drops it and then throws it away. Tyson making it very easily to second base. Mavericks with a runner in scoring position now here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. Brings up Ryan Ellis, 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out his last time up, but he singled back in the first inning. First pitch to him, breaking ball outside, ball 1. Chris, this is the kind of day I know the pitchers.
It never happened when I pitched. That wind is howling to left field
yes,
today.
it is.
I might have called in sick if I had to pitch today.
Well, I knew better than that.
Yeah.
There was never a challenge that you didn't go in there. Ground ball, first baseman, and makes the play. And the Mavericks go down here in the bottom half of the fourth. With no runs, no hits. There was an error and 1 man left on base. Chris Gay. Ballpark. You see him quite often at the ballpark, but today I wanted to try to get him up here. Chris, fine young man, a tremendous man, has meant a lot to Arlington baseball. He's been fighting a little health problems last couple of years, but like the left-handed pitcher he was, he doesn't back down from an opponent. And if you've got an extra nickel, put it on Chris Gay.
Zach Wattis leads it off for TCU. Again, getting his first start, coming off a home run. It's TCU's only base hit, actually, in this game, is Wattis' home run over the left center field fence.
Yeah, so far, as you said, the carousel of Maverick pitchers have been very effective.
1-2. Stays outside to even it up 2-2. TCU has had their fair share of runners. Mavericks have walked 3 Frogs. Hard hit ball to the right side. Tice able to stop it. He's going to take it himself, and he just got his cleat on the bag, and that's out number 1. Nice job by Tice there. Great recovery on that sharp hit ball by Wattis.
Yeah, he hit the ball well, Wattis, after that home run back in the 3rd inning, but 1 man up, 1 man down here in the top half of the 5th.
Last time we saw Gerner pitch, he won an inning against CBU in the 2nd game of the doubleheader on Friday. Allowed 1 hit, had 2 strikeouts. That was in the 7-1 CBU victory. Here's Camden Sauce. And he goes after the first pitch. He hits it into the gap in right center field. Leaping, making the catch, Tyson Pointer as he dove. What a play from Tyson Pointer. Another well-hit ball by these Horned Frogs. Camden Sauce thought this was going to be down, but
good jump.
Tyson got a good jump, leaps forward, and he holds on to it. Nice job there by Tyson.
Not only was it a good jump to his right, as you can see, his first step was also back, so he was able to cut that angle down a little bit and made a fine catch for the 2nd out here in the top half of the 5th inning.
That's the type of plays that pitchers love to see on the
Well,
mound.
you're not kidding right there, because that's a no doubt about double, who knows, maybe even a triple.
Here's Ryder Robinson, 0 for 1 today after a ground out to second base back in the 3rd inning. Chases after this one, and now down to the count 0-2. Pitch. And this one lifted high into left field. Ellis moving to his right, and he's got it for out number 3. Nice job by the Mavericks pitcher, Garrett Gerner, and a great job by the defense.
And then had to come back out to finish the game like at
9 a.m.
Crazy.
And then lost that game, and then had to play in the losers bracket at 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's the craziness of conference baseball tournaments when you have some inclement weather.
Storm Heyerholzer continues to pitch for TCU. 5-6-7 due up for the Mavericks. Tate Bethel, what a day he's had already. 2 for 2 and 2 RBI for the Mavericks.
And he's also just scored a run too. Why not?
Count jumps to 3-0. Mavericks scoring a run in the bottom of the 1st. TCU tied the game up in the top of the 3rd thanks to the Zach Wattis home run. And then UTA getting the lead back, scoring 4 runs in the 3rd. Now here in the bottom of the 5th, UTA with a 5-1 lead. And Bethel fouls this back. And out of play. Now the count, Heyerholzer fights back to make it 3-2.
TCU defense straight up traditional right now. Shading or playing no pull whatsoever on Bethel.
And that'll be a walk by Heyerholzer and a leadoff base runner for the Mavericks.
So Tate's perfect day at the plate continues. That'll bring up our first baseman, Tice Armstrong. RBI single back in the 3rd inning. One of 3 RBI singles back to back. And then a sacrifice fly, which completed the scoring for the Mavericks.
Tice Armstrong, who had that very interesting single
Exactly.
off Andrew Mosiello pitching at the time on a chopper. And Mosiello had his back turned, and it deflected off his inner right thigh, and everybody was safe.
Breaking ball up, but called for a strike.
Tice 1 for 2 here this evening.
Looking at the TCU schedule, they'll be heading out to Ohio and play Cincinnati.
That's a strikeout for Heyerholzer as Tice goes down swinging.
I'll be at Cincinnati this weekend in Big 12 action. I'm still having a hard time getting all these Big 12 teams down. You know, BYU to the west, Central Florida. You go to the Mideast, you got Ohio, so you got Cincinnati. Still having a hard time realizing that. Oh yes, that is a conference series for them.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue too easily right now. Still got to get used to it. Parker Earhart goes after the first one, flies this one into shallow right. Boyer's coming in, but it's actually Ryder Robinson, the second baseman, runs out there and makes the catch for out number 2. Tate Bethel stays put at first base.
We mentioned the Mavericks will be going down to the Valley, UT Rio Grande Valley, playing the Vaqueros in a 3-game series. And the Mavericks will return home the following weekend, and they'll get the Lopes from Grand Canyon. Will be here.
First time GCU has visited
Yep.
Clay Gould Ballpark.
April 12, 13, and 14.
And speaking of UTRGV, that is the next 2 home games for TCU over there in Fort Worth.
Yes, they'll be coming up here, and then the Mavericks will be just coming home, I guess. Yeah, the Mavericks will be coming home Sunday night from UTRGV, and I'm sure the Vaqueros will be traveling on Monday to get up here.
0-1 breaking ball to Kaiser Harrington. Productive day for the freshman. Getting his second start in his career. 1 for 1. RBI sac fly in the 3rd.
Mavericks last year won 2 of 3 against the Vaqueros right here at Clay Gould Ballpark. And if fans back home remember, that was the Sunday afternoon big comeback victory. Down 3 runs in the 9th inning when Ryan Black hit the walk-off home run and sent the Mavericks home a series winner.
See that play at every home game. It's in the intro video. Harrington fouls this one to the right. And then that series, very unsure the next time UTA will play UTRGV, as the Vaqueros have decided to exit the WAC, as baseball will become an 10-teamer next year, as long as nothing else changes.
Yep.
But UTRGV off to the Southland Conference. Runner going. Here's a throw from Byrne. Tag made, and out is Bethel. Anthony Silva applies the tag. 5-1. Horton brings in, he's gone 15 and a third, 13 hits, 12 earned runs, 7 walks, and 12 strikeouts. We saw Horton throw an inning against CBU back on March 28th, part of that 14-2 run rule win for the Mavericks. First pitch as we face the leadoff batter, Chase Brunson, for TCU. Brunson 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to shortstop back in the first. He hits this ball well, tracking it, and that's going to be over Ellis and off the wall. He'll get the ball in quickly. Stand-up double for Brunson. Ellis made an effort, but it just got over him off the wall, and that's a leadoff base hit for TCU.
Yeah, that ball's hit well off the bat, as you can see. Ellis just couldn't get back there in time for an easy stand-up double.
That'll bring up Logan Maxwell. That's just the second hit of the game for TCU.
Yeah, the home run that scored the run and now a double, so they have yet to have a single.
Maxwell goes after the first pitch, pops it up in the air. Gregory is chasing after it in foul territory, and he can't get to it, as he's got to stop himself as he hits the fence just out of his reach. Good effort and new life for Maxwell.
Man, he ran a long way for that, Josh. He sure did.
That was a lot of ground to cover. So long reset. So Maxwell down to the count 0-1. And now we're evened up from Horton.
Line score reads so far 5-8-0 for the Mavericks. 1-2-2 for TCU here in the top of 6.
Couple WAC teams tonight playing some Big 12 squads. Mavericks obviously hosting TCU. Utah Valley is hosting Utah tonight.
So they're playing
Future
Pac-12.
Future Big 12
Boy, that's
Utah
right.
Utes.
Forget about that, too, next year. That's right. Colorado, which does not sponsor baseball, but Utah Utes, they'll be part of the Big 12, too.
Grand Canyon is at Arizona State tonight, future Big 12 team.
Well, that's about as far as distance-wise as us and TCU. Is that not correct, Josh? Arizona State and Grand Canyon?
Really, neighbors.
Yeah.
Can't be much. DBU is hosting Tarleton tonight. And Texas is hosting Abilene Christian. Ground ball to the right side. Ryan Black bobbles it, recovers, the throw, hops. Tice made the play. Wow, what a job by Tice. And Ryan able to recover it just in time to record the out. Brunson advances to third base. Nice job by Tice. We'll get a look here.
Josh, I know I'm an old man, sound like a broken record, but there it is again. Tice Armstrong saving the Mavericks an out and probably a run right there. Of course, if he doesn't knock that down, but no, he goes ahead and makes the scoop, and the Mavericks have an out.
Anthony Silva is 0 for 2 tonight, and he's got a runner at third base.
I can't remember who would have been as smooth around the bag at first base as Armstrong has shown this year for the Mavericks, Josh. He is really, and we talk about it, I know, constantly, but it's so big, folks. It really is. First baseman a lot of times, oh, he's there because all he has to do is catch the ball and everything like that. But there you go. Saves an out, probably saves a run once again. And that's at least 10 times, I'm going to say, it's happened this year.
Silva belts one into left. That'll score a run. And now the Mavericks lead TCU 5-2 as Anthony Silva gets his first base hit here tonight. It's an RBI single into left field as Chase Brunson scores from third after his leadoff double.
And, well, as it's been all night long, no news. There is activity in the Maverick bullpen, but when you're throwing a new pitcher every inning, there's always going to be activity. Looks like it could be Hasty warming up for the Mavericks right now. He's not throwing, but you'll see him in the back of the picture.
Curtis Byrne, 0 for 1 evening. Drew a walk back in the fourth inning.
He does lead the Horned Frogs with 4 homers and 24 RBI in the season. So the .257 batting average, very productive.
And this one hit well into left. Ellis, all he can do is stare at it. 2-run home run for Curtis Byrne, and just like that, it's a 1-run ball game here in the 6th.
Well, Josh, put me in the 5-minute penalty box there. I need to set the headphones down and take a 5-minute break. I spoke much too soon.
Big time home run for Byrne. 5th home run of the season, and the 22nd home run for TCU as you get a look at the Byrne swing. And now the TCU fans starting to make some noise. As crazy as this sounds, that's the first TCU home run since they faced UTA back on March 19th.
They scored 26 runs this weekend against Houston. They did not hit a home run. Now there's Coach Trapp coming out. Speak to the Maverick reliever, Colin Harton.
The first pitch to Peyton Tolley was a strike.
Now it looks like the TCU crowd now is woken up, Josh.
So was their dugout as well. A 5-4 game. 4 runs, 4 hits. Pair of errors for TCU.
It happened quick, too.
They have that capability.
Yeah, that's Hasty warming up, definitely. That's confirmed.
Tolley lifts this one high in the air and to left. It's in foul territory. Ellis stops, reaches over, right on the line, makes the catch for out number 2.
He traveled quite a way, and the ball almost then drifted back into fair territory. It was foul, but it almost, here we'll see on the replay, he gets it up there, and Ellis coming a long way. Clearly in foul territory, and then the ball kicks back, but the umpire did call it in foul, a foul out. 2 outs now. Mavericks now nursing a 1-run lead.
It's not an easy play to make. And this one skied to the right. Tice Armstrong never saw it. Tyson Pointer back in front of the wall, reaches out and makes the catch for out number 3. Curtis Byrne with a home run. It's a 1-run lead for the Mavericks in Arlington.
Right now, as you mentioned, 5-pitch at bat before Bethel got caught stealing to end the bottom of the 5th. Well, the difference in the base hits, TCU has had a pair of home runs. It's accounted for 3 real quick runs. The Mavericks, of their 8 base hits, have 1 double on the evening and 7 singles.
Storm Heyerholzer returns to the mound for the Frogs. But all of a sudden, a 1-run game as Kaiser no-go inside. It's now 3-0. Big day for Kaiser already. RBI, 1 for 1 at the plate.
Yeah, base hit that first time up, then a nice sacrifice fly to left field to drive in what was the Mavericks' 5th run and 4th of that 3rd inning.
Strike zone again, now 3-2. And yeah, the fans getting into this one now. Here's a 3-2. Kaiser lets it go. That's ball 4.
Well, good to see a leadoff walk, and Kaiser's basically productive day continues right there. Brings up Kason Gregory, 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out to right field, his last at bat in the 3rd inning.
So see if Kason can move Kaiser around. Shows bunt, brings the infielders in, stays away from it, 1-0. And we're going to get a mound visit here.
Yes, we are.
So a 1-0 count.
Bottom half of the 6th inning here.
Yeah, 5-4 games, so obviously the Frogs need to get on the same page here.
I tell you what, when they have a mound visit, they're all up there. They're all up on the hill, Josh. No miscommunication. Left-hander, number 32, warming up for the Horned Frogs right now.
It's Braden Sloan.
Yeah, I would say right now, Coach Sorlos with a chance to stay in this ball game after being behind by 4, cutting that gap to 1. It's going to play this thing a whole lot closer to the vest.
Gregory gets the bunt down, and will it? He's actually picked up by Zach Wattis, who applies the tag. Pretty good bunt there, no doubt about it.
Yep, real good bunt.
So that moves Harrington to second base. And with 1 out, runner in scoring position for the Mavericks.
We got a lot of viewers tonight as I've been getting texts from some of our alumni bunch and some other hardcore baseball fans.
Breaking ball inside from Heyerholzer to Garrison Berkeley, who is 0 for 3 here this evening facing his former team.
Of course, alumni players that are always around the ballpark. Jeff Burrow, Eric Coons. We had Grisque up here earlier. Gerard Justino.
Ryder Robinson covering second base as Heyerholzer tries to keep Kaiser close by the bag.
Even a cousin or two that I've had text in today, and a friend out Estes Parkway, Brett Carlson. So a lot of Maverick fans out there watching us tonight, Josh.
And a lot of TCU fans as well.
You betcha.
We appreciate them joining us here tonight. Just 2 meetings this year for these 2 teams. Years past, we've had 3 games, but just 2 meetings this season for UTA and TCU.
Yeah, the third game has sort of, in a way, been replaced by the home-and-home with OU. Well, we used to play OU every other year at home, and that's now a home-and-home series. So, in essence, that's sort of been, you know, not a true substitute, but in the way of opponents, that's sort of the difference.
Garrison Berkeley trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Heyerholzer stays away this time. We're evened up 2-2.
We've got our associate AD and baseball general manager up here with us today. John Feltman, he's watching the softball game, and John, they're playing on a blue field?
They're at Texas A&M Commerce tonight.
Wow, yeah.
Now that is news to me that I did not know they had a blue field.
It is a fully blue field, Josh, as you can see as he's turned the monitor this way.
Wow.
I caught the corner of my eye and I was wondering what was that, but wow, that's different.
Berkeley gets tied up. That's a strikeout for Heyerholzer.
Texas A&M Commerce, they're brand new Division I. Matter of fact, we talked about UTRGV, but they Commerce is now a member of the Southland Conference currently.
That is correct. Right now, softball losing 5-2.
Yep, sixth inning.
Here's Ryan Black for UTA. 2 outs. Harrington still on at second base.
Ryan 1 for 3 on the night. A run scoring single for him in the 3rd inning.
Ryan now 28 hits. Tied for the second most for any Maverick. Stays away from the breaking ball, and it just stayed upstairs from Heyerholzer for 2-0. And Ryan over to first base. Mavericks coach Ben Brazil unable to make the play. Actually, that's Reed Thomas over there.
Yes, it is.
Throw down to second, and that gets out of the glove of Silva, but there's no room to go for Harrington as Brunson retrieved it in center field.
That's right there, fundamentals. Anytime there's a pick off to second base, the center fielder has one job, and that's to come crashing in once he sees that pitcher turn for just that very occasion.
2-1 home. And Ryan eyes it all the way.
Black, hitters count right here. We know Ryan can do some damage. 3-1. Shorten up that zone. Look for your pitch right here.
He puts it into right field. It's going to get to the wall. Clay Van Hook is sending Kaiser Harrington. He scores, and Ryan and Kaiser switch places, and the Mavericks get a run back. It's 6-4.
Good job by Ryan Black, his 13th double of the season and his 19th RBI. And the Mavericks get one run back here in the bottom half of the 6th.
Harrington scores his first career run on that swing. by Ryan Black. And here's Tyson Pointer. Very productive evening. He's got a pair of runs scored. Drew a walk back in the first. A double in the third, came around to score. And he reached on an error back in the fourth inning. And that error was charged to Heyerholzer.
Yeah, Black really turned on that pitch right there with 2 outs and get that Mavericks 6th run in for the ball game.
This one's outside, or pardon me, just caught the line to make it 1-1. 6-4 Maverick lead. That'll make it 2-1. This one lifted but well foul. And going back in this series history, we talked about UTA won last year in Fort Worth 8-7. And you got to go before that, like you said, a 12-inning win in Fort Worth in 2020. Last Maverick win at Clay Gould Ballpark was in 2019, a 6-3 Maverick win. But since then, it's really been mostly a one-way series over the last couple years. Now the count 3-2 to Tyson Pointer, who has really come along the last 5 or 6 games for him. Just gets a piece of it, he'll foul it back.
Yeah, Pointer, as we mentioned, he's been the Mavericks' hottest hitter here over the last couple of weeks. Got himself over the 300 mark. Full count and 2 outs.
We'll do it again, payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. And a little flip of the bat from Tyson there. And now runners on first and second base, still 2 outs. And Kirk Sarlos has emerged from the dugout, and we've got a pitching change. So Ryan Ellis, the lefty, with runners on first and second base, 2 outs for Braden Sloan. Pitch outside, 1-0.
Mavericks another 2-out RBI tonight. Had one in the first inning.
Yeah, Ryan Ellis 1 for 3 here tonight. Singled into center field back in the first inning. Has since struck out and grounded out. Two and 0. And now 3-0. Sloan tried to tuck it in.
And just missed right there.
Now
timeout.
Time called. Fans making some noise. Well, this could no doubt be a big swing of this ball game with a 2-run lead and the Mavericks 2 runners on with 2 outs. And Sloan walks Ellis.
All of a sudden, the Mavericks have the bases loaded after the Ryan Black 2-out RBI double, then back-to-back walks here to Pointer and Ellis. And here comes Tate Bethel up to the plate. And you mentioned it. Big swing of the bat right here as the Mavericks currently have a 2-run lead. A base hit can get them an opportunity to get that 4-run lead back.
Yeah, Bethel 2 for 2 today and has drawn a walk. Coming off a 4 for 14 series against California Baptist. Bethel in the number 0 uniform. We've talked about that all year long. To our knowledge, the first Maverick to ever wear number 0.
Yep. And TCU has a 0 out there tonight themselves. Their second baseman, Ryder Robinson.
One from Sloan. And again, the base is loaded. Mavericks now 9 hits in this game. Find the strike zone this time to make it 1-2.
Of course, the Rangers, I know, had 2 zeros. They had Al Oliver, who could be made a case for a Hall of Famer back wearing 0, and Odabe McDowell wore 0 as a Ranger.
1-2. Skips in the dirt. Good stop by Curtis Byrne. And now 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. 3 men on base. Mavericks 6, Horned Frogs 4.
Bethel waits. Here's the pitch from Sloan. And Bethel goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Sloan. That'll end the Maverick threat. They leave them loaded. They get a run back, though, and it's a 6-4.
Get together, a lot of pitching changes, a lot of moves, and, you know, it seems to always be 3-hour-plus ball games. Sort of like the Red Sox and Yankees when they hook up.
First pitch to Zach Wattis. In there for a strike. Wattis with a home run back in the 3rd inning over the left field wall. Oh, 2 now. Well, you know, schools aren't separated by too much. You get good students come out to the ball games. You know, a little trash talking here and there.
Always has been.
You know, you've been a part of many of these.
TCU back in the day, you know, used to play right there, jammed in by the basketball arena. The fans were real close, right on top of you. Of course, now beautiful facility they have for the past 20 years, but yep, it was actually the first ball game played here at Clay Gould Ballpark back in 1974 on a Saturday afternoon in February. The opponents were the TCU Horned Frogs.
Now, in this series is the only tie.
Yeah.
In UTA history.
Uh-huh. And there's a little backstory of that one. We actually played at Arlington Stadium, the home of the Rangers back then. And we actually played in the afternoon of a Ranger home game.
2-2. Wattis goes down swinging. Strikeout for Hasty.
So we had a deadline. I can't remember if the game started at 1 o'clock or something like that, but we had a deadline of 4:30. Had to be off the field because, boom, they had to prepare it for BP and everything like that. Hence, the ball game ended in a tie that afternoon at Arlington Stadium.
Of course, the Mavericks have already played in the home of the Rangers already this year. And, of course, TCU, I mean, they've started calling Globe Life Field TCU fans Lupton East just because TCU, Big 12 tournament is there. They actually had a game moved there last year because of weather.
They're usually in some type of classic challenge early season tournament, playing 3 games there.
And they were this year already. As they took on Washington State, Arizona, and USC over there at Globe Life Field.
Let's see, Arizona becomes a conference opponent for them next year too.
And they did just renew that contract at the Big 12 tournament, staying at Globe Life Field for the next several years.
It's been very successful.
Swing and a miss. Ball retrieved by Earhart. Throw to first in time, and that's out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Hasty.
I'll tell you what, Globe Life Field does not sit idle before the Rangers come home, that's for sure.
UT Arlington, that's where their graduations are now.
Amazing. But I would say there's, what, at least probably a dozen college games a year played at Globe Life?
Oh, at least, yeah. Yeah, it is a very busy barn right now.
Well, yeah, when you take into account that there's a dozen played just during the Big 12 tournament. Yeah, what am I thinking of?
4 runs, 4 hits, pair of errors for the Horned Frogs. UTA, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Pitch from Hasty. It's outside. 2-0.
Of course, the Rangers first walked in that ballpark during the COVID-shortened 2020 season. The Globe Life Field has been, Globe Life has been host to 2 of the 4 World Series, actually.
The Los Angeles Dodgers celebrated a World Series title in that building.
That's right.
Ryder Robinson 0 for 2 tonight. He'll foul this one. That count evened up 2-2. Also hosted the NLCS that year.
Yes, they did. Yeah, that was quite a year, the 2020 baseball season. As we know, ours was abruptly ended, and Major League Baseball not starting until after the 4th of July, playing in front of cardboard people.
3 balls, 2 strikes now. Robinson, the switch hitter, ground out in the 3rd. Flew out to left in the 5th. Three-two. And this one line and out of the reach of Ryan Black. Base hit for Ryder Robinson. What a battle between him and Hasty there. And Robinson with the 5th hit of the game for TCU, a 2-out single here in the top of the 7th.
That's going to bring up Jace Brunson, who got that 6th inning started for the Horned Frogs, which led to 3 runs with the double.
Yeah, right over the head of Ryan Ellis on the first pitch from Colin Horton at the time.
Yeah, they've hit a double and 2 home runs, as we mentioned earlier tonight. Mavericks with 2 doubles on the evening.
Chase takes a look at that one. 1-0.
TCU, this is only their true 8th road game of the season.
Yeah, 3 and 4 on the year.
Yep. 3 neutral site games, but only road game number 8.
And those were at Globe Life Field. Chopper to the left side. Gregory back, long stretch throw. In time to Tice. Another gem by this Maverick defense. Stretch time in Arlington. Mavericks with.
There's going to be a play later on this season, and you know we're going to just expect the poor guy to make it, and you know he'll end up finally not making one, and we'll sort of scratch our heads. But he makes the play look so routine. He's spoiling us.
Tice 1 for 3 tonight, and he'll swing at this one. Hopper over to Ryder Robinson at second, and that'll be the first out here in the 7th inning. That'll drop Tice to 1 for 4 this afternoon. There's Parker Earhart.
He's got himself a hit and an RBI, and the Maverick leader in 2 categories, home runs with 6, RBI with 20.
Kirk Sarlos, in his 2+ seasons now with TCU, 30 and 14 in midweek games.
Well, that's solid. That's about a 700 percentage.
Earhart, the 1-0 from Sloan. Take a look at it. And 2-0. Sloan entered for Storm Heyerholzer, pardon me. Goes 2 2/3. 1 hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts for the TCU pitcher. And Sloan keeping it away from Earhart's strike zone again, now 3-0.
Yeah, overall, Coach Sarlos is a 102 and 53 in the first 2.5 seasons as the Horned Frog head man.
Longtime assistant at TCU, working under Jim Schlossnagel, now coaching Texas A&M. And Sloan issues a walk to Earhart. First walk tonight for Parker, 13th on the year. 3rd most in the Maverick lineup. That'll bring up the freshman Kaiser Harrington, who's really been all over the place today. 1 for 1 at the plate. Infield single. Hit into a sacrifice fly in the third, and he drew a walk in the sixth and came around to score as the only run in the sixth inning. And the Mavericks left the bases loaded.
Got the Mavericks reaching first base today by 6 walks from the Horned Frog pitching staff.
Got a 1-0 count. And Kaiser delivers a base hit into right field. Earhart stops at second as the throw in comes into Silva. Kaiser Harrington, first career multi-hit game of his career.
Young man's having quite a night here for a second start of the season. 2 base hits, a sacrifice fly, a walk, a run scored, a ribby.
Oh, and Kirk Sarlos
That's
has
it.
come out of the mound. We've got a pitching.
Perfect sacrifice bunt. That was taken by first baseman Wattis and then tagged him out.
Righty-righty matchup here. And Gregory takes strike one. But one thing that has changed is the wind has essentially died completely.
Certainly has.
It was howling earlier.
Yeah, about 8 o'clock, it just like if it got on a plane and left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very little wind right now.
There it is. Thanks,
I mean,
guys.
those things were flying earlier.
They sure were. Thanks for that shot, crew. Good job once again. Always a pleasure here on ESPN Plus.
6-4 lead. Here's the 0-1. Kaysen eyes it, and we're evened up 1-1.
88 mile an hour. Leadoff hitter Garrison Berkeley on deck. Actually, Gregory and Berkeley are the only 2 Mavericks without a base hit tonight.
Chopper up the middle. It's fielded by Parker, and he'll take the out at first base. He glanced over at second, but instead makes the play over to Wattis at first, and that is out number 2. That works as a sacrifice.
Yeah, it does. Of course, you're not sacrificing the situation like that, usually with 1 out. And but there are 2 runners now in scoring position for Berkeley. And as we mentioned, he's due tonight. Mavericks 6, Horned Frogs 4 here. Bottom half of the 7th.
Yeah, Berkeley 0 for 4. Only him and Gregory do not have a base hit tonight. So we'll see what he can do here. And the first offering is a breaking ball that misses outside, ball 1.
Well, you know, if you're Garrison, you got to have in the back of your mind, you are probably going to get a good pitch or 2 to possibly hit, or at least a strike, because with Ryan Black on deck, they are not going to want to face Black with the bases loaded.
And the 1-0, Berkeley into right field. It's playable for Luke Boyers, who creeps closely to the foul line, and that'll do it. That's the 3rd out. Nice job by Cademan Parker.
Canyon, of course, the Lopes are always picked to win it or picked to be right near the top of the whack.
Sam Myers is a pinch hitter for Logan Maxwell. So they have brought in Myers here, lefty to face Hasty, who's back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Myers has made 16 starts this year. It's his 22nd appearance. He's batting .290 at the plate. 20 hits, 6 of those extra base hits.
Yeah, solid season for Myers, but I'm wondering if something happened to Logan Maxwell, because you wouldn't think Logan would have been lifted in this spot, but that's just pure speculation on my part. So
the 1-2, we're evened up. Anthony Silva on deck, shortstop. And all of a sudden, the Mavericks, they got to be thinking they're just 6 outs away here. Myers turns in on one, down to one knee, just gets a piece of it.
right-hander loosening up in the Maverick bullpen.
That's Joe Stieber right now for UTA.
Yeah, Joe's been pretty effective this year for the Mavericks out of the pen.
Parker Earhart walked out to the mound. Four runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for TCU. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for UTA. That's errors just 24 and 25 this year for TCU. 2-2.
Just missed.
Just missed.
Indeed.
Now a full count. Gotta get everybody wearing purple tonight. You going? 3-2. Ball 4. Wow. Leadoff runner for TCU as they trail the Mavericks by 2.
You got to give Myers credit.
Yep.
He took a pair of tough pitches from the left-hander. Just down. You can see it there. Just down and a little bit out. But those are tough pitches for a left-hander to lay off, especially with 2 strikes. But give him credit.
Anthony Silva, 1 for 3 tonight, had an RBI single back in the 6th inning. Part of that 3-run 6th for TCU. Ground ball to the right side. Ryan makes the sure out at first. Nice job by Ryan Black, the Mavericks second baseman. That does move Myers over to second base.
It's okay, though. You get it off the bat, you immediately think a double play, but the ball was hit slowly and towards the first base side. So Ryan doing the smart thing, guaranteeing the out, because now you're playing the out game. There's 5 outs to go now. Sure, you don't want to have a guy in scoring position, but remember, it's only 5 outs to go.
Curtis Byrne puts that one in the Maverick bullpen. Curtis with a big 2-run home run back in the 6th. His 5th home run of the year.
You have 22 RBIs now. I'm sorry, 26 RBIs.
And this one into center field. Berkeley now charging up full speed, and he's got it for out number 2. Tough out there on Byrne.
Yeah, the big swing and the ball goes up in the air, and Garrison sort of froze for just a partial, and then obviously saw that the ball was not coming out to him, came charging in, and still makes an easy catch for the second out, and a big out that was. As you mentioned, Byrne with the 2-run homer back in the 6th.
Peyton Tolley, the former Wichita State Shocker, 1 for 3 tonight. Or pardon me, 0 for 3. Fouled the first one out of the ballpark.
Like we said, he's a double duty player here for the Horned Frogs.
Tolley out of Yukon, Oklahoma.
Made a half a dozen starts outside of his starts as a pitcher. So he's got over 40 at-bats on the season.
Now 1-1 from Hasty.
Actually 8 for 43 up to this moment in the season. 2 homers, but he does have 11 RBI.
Lefty-lefty battle. Gave it a big cut. Left-handed batters against Hasty entering the game today, 2 for 12.
Very, very effective, and that is exactly why Jacob is still in there right now.
The 1-2 to Tolley. Hasty and Myers, long stare down from the mound over to second base.
Infield on the right side, playing deep. Both Armstrong and Black are, for all intent purposes, on the grass line. Bethel over at third. about a half a step guarding that third base line towards the third base line.
Goes after it, swing and a miss. Earhart recovers it, and Tice just makes it look easy at first base to record the third out. 6-4. RBI and a run scored. So Cademan Parker returns to the mound here in the 8th for the Horned Frogs. And the first pitch to Ryan. He'll foul this one out of play.
Yeah, Ryan came in today, as we mentioned. Has hit a little bit of a lull, 255. But with the 2 hits tonight, hopefully turning the corner here and be looking to have a big second half for the Mavericks, as the vast majority of their games now will be in WAC conference play.
Next home series will be against Grand Canyon. Mavericks will head out to UTRGV. They're actually going to leave tomorrow. They're going to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they are going to split that trip into 2. They'll be busing down to Edinburgh. They're going to stop and stay in at New Braunfels tomorrow night.
Yeah, because it's pretty tough to get down to Edinburgh in less than about 8.5 hours.
High chopper over to Silva, and the throw to first in time for out number 1.
So I understand where Coach Van Hook is coming from there. They'll stop in New Braunfels, I'm sure. Sounded like they were leaving, going to have a quick practice here tomorrow, sounded like, and then New Braunfels, let's call it 4 hours. Well, depending on traffic.
Yeah.
But, and then get a good night's rest in New Braunfels on Wednesday night, and then travel, which would be another solid 4 hours into the Valley on Thursday, and then I'm sure have at least an hour workout at the home field of the Vaqueros on Thursday night, and then be ready for the big conference weekend series.
Tyson Pointer, pair of walks tonight, a double. He's got 2 runs scored, also reached on an error back in the 4th inning. But Tyson Pointer now on an 18-game reached base streak. One out and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 8th. Mavericks trying to get their first win over TCU at Clay Gould Ballpark since 2019.
Yeah, last 3 ball games here at the Gould have been losses in 21, 22, and 23. I'm almost positive we did not play them at the ballpark in the shortened 20 season. That's when we had the victory at TCU.
Yep, just the one meeting in the COVID-shortened year. And Pointer retired on strikes. Big strikeout for Cademan Parker there. And now 2 out. First strikeout of the night by Pointer. Now that's going to bring up Ryan Ellis. 1 for 3 tonight and has a walk. Ellis takes that one for strike 1.
Yeah, Ryan came in hitting an even 300. So that means he's still right over. And there's a base hit to left field for him.
Ellis is thinking about extra here. He's going to round first. Big wide turn. Here comes the throw in. He's going to stand up at second base. Ellis delivers a 2-out double, his 5th double of the season.
He called it right when the ball landed, thinking about 2. And as it turned out, hustling all the way turns into a stand-up double at second base.
Ball retrieved in the outfield by now Sam Myers, who replaced Maxwell.
Well, the Mavericks got the runner in scoring position, even though there's 2 outs, but boy, this would be a big run to get across here. $11 hits tonight for the Mavericks. And it looks like
TCU 5 hits. And going back and they had in their first win over Houston, they had a 21 hit performance in the 14-1 win. They had 12 hits in game 2. Only had 2 hits in their Saturday victory, 6-4
Baseball,
over
Josh.
Houston.
That's all you can say. 21 hits one day and 2 the next day.
1-1. And Bethel up the middle, fielded by Parker, and the throw to first in time. Good job by Parker. 6 of the 9th. Here's the first pitch to the lefty, Boyers, and goes after it, a little ahead of it, and it's in there for strike 1. Boyers 0 for 3 here tonight. Last time we saw Stieber pitch was in game 1 of the doubleheader on Friday against CBU. Went 2 innings, had 2 strikeouts, allowed 1 earned run, 4 hits. One of those was a home run. 0-2. And Boyers into right field. And the tying run will come to the plate. Boyers rounds first. He's going to go to second. Stand-up double for Luke Boyers.
He took that pitch, looked like it was actually on the outer half of the plate, wrapped it around for a line drive double, hit the wall, and as you mentioned now, leadoff man on second base. Horned Frogs with their 6th base hit of the evening, 2 homers, 2 doubles, and 2 singles.
3rd double for Luke Boyers. Now here's Zach Wattis. 1 for 3 tonight.
It was a
Wattis
big one, though.
His first career home run. Back in the 3rd inning, a solo shot. And the first one, he's going to hit it high and deep into center field. Berkeley at the warning track. He has it for out number 1. Boyers tags from second. He gets to 3rd.
Well, Josh, he hit it pretty good, but if we can get a quick shot of the flags actually were wearing a Maverick jersey on that one right there. He had no chance to get any aid with the wind on that one, as you can see.
Yeah, wind. When we had 30-mile-an-hour gusts earlier, now it's next to nothing.
Yeah, he hit that one on the nose, and it went way out the first time. But right there, he hit it well, but Berkeley with the catch at about the 390 mark.
Camden Sauce 0 for 3 tonight. Some would argue that he got robbed back in the 5th inning on a terrific diving catch in the outfield by Tyson Pointer.
And I will argue that. It was a fantastic catch by Tyson.
The 0-1 check swing. First base umpire Lance Barnes says no, he did not commit. And we're 1-1.
Yep, and the Maverick faithful not quiet on that call.
Boyers at 3rd. Swing and a miss by Sauce. It's 1-2.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Mavericks obviously defense playing back. Bethel guarding the line because, quite honestly, you know, if you can trade this for a sacrifice fly, a ground out or whatever for the run, you will gladly take it.
The 1-2 from Stieber. Down low in the dirt. Good job by Earhart to keep it in front of him. And now 2-2. Yeah, tension's growing a little bit higher as we move along here.
Yes, you will. Mavericks left side deep. Bethel, a solid step towards the 3rd base line, guarding that 3rd base line from an extra base hit.
Punch out. Strikeout by Stieber on Sauce. And the Mavericks are 1 out away.
Right
Just
there.
found the outer corner.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to, that pitch right there, not going to do much with it.
And now, Ryder Robinson.
Singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3 on the evening. Brings a 247 batting average into tonight's action.
First pitch. Ryder goes around, swing and a miss. 90-mile-an-hour fastball offered from Stieber. Cedar Hills, Utah native Ryder Robinson needs a base hit here to keep this game going. The 0-1. This one popped into center field. Berkeley chasing after it. On the run, he's got it. Out number 3, and the Mavericks knock off TCU at Clay Gould.
From the blueprint to the machine, they're the architects of every scene. Building bridges, reaching high. With every design, they touch the sky. They calculate, they innovate. With precision, they navigate. Through circuits and codes, they pave the way for a future brighter every day.
Engineers, they're the masters of creation, turning visions into foundation. With expertise and dedication, they shape the world as their vocation. Engineers, they're the masters of creation, turning visions into foundation. With expertise and dedication, they shape the world as their vocation.
From mechanical to electrical, their knowledge is formidable. They engineer solutions, they never tire, turning challenges into empire. From skyscrapers to satellites, their impact reaches dizzying heights. They solve problems, they innovate. In the world they help facilitate.
Engineers, they're the masters of creation, turning visions into foundation. With expertise and dedication, they shape the world as their vocation. It's not just about the calculations, but the passion that drives their creations. With perseverance they break through barriers, making dreams come true.
So here's to the engineers, the minds at play, shaping tomorrow in every way. Innovation is their currency, they're the architects of our custody.